Good evening, everyone, and you are welcome to the Power BI class. So let me share my screen. If you can see my screen, can you please type on the chat box that you can see my screen? If you can see my screen, can you please chat on the chat box that you can see my screen? All right, thank you very much. So you're welcome to the week 5 of the class. And like I said in the previous class this week, that I need some of you to do some, I want to quickly give the announcement so as for people that are trying to join, that I need some of you to do PR for me, video PR, what you have learned so far. For those of you that you have chatted me, thank you very much. I'll give you a prototype today, but I still need some of you. So kindly chat me up if you are interested. Kindly chat me up if you are interested. And please, the class captains, please let's be admitting people as I start the class now. And let's check the names very well. Thank you very much. So, so this is where we stopped last week. I believe that you still remember. We created slicers using the customer name, the employee name, category, and the likes. And so total sales, total quantity, all those ones have been created before. And these ones have also been created before, which it is the total number of quantity, total sales per region, and the likes. So there's something that we are going to do more of calculation today, and also visualization, which is introducing you to, although we've done some, what's it called now? We've done some DAX, but we'll do more today because there's no how you want to do Power BI that you are not going to deal with DAX. So you need to understand what DAX is, and you need to understand when you see a data, how you can work it out. But there's something that I also want to bring to our notice. Now, if you have a visualization, for example, this visualization now, if you have this visualization and you know that this is total sales, total number of sales per month. This is the total number of sales per month. So if we want to sort it by the total sales, that is, we want to know from the highest to the lowest. So all I need to do is to click on that. So I'm not sure I've taught you that. So we can see that it was October. It was October that had the highest. It was October that had the highest sale, followed by November, followed by August, followed by February, March, June, September. And there's another thing that we can create. We can look further into, since we have seen here that it was October that has the highest number of sales, we can look into the category of products we can look into the category. Let me copy this. We can look into the category of products and also by month and look at or let's say category of products by month and look at the top 5 months that was sold by those categories. So let me click on, so let me rename this as report 2, report 3. So let me click on that. So what I want to do is to add to this. So if I'm going to do that, then I will need to change this to a bar chart. Then I can have category. So you can see that it's too clustered together. So because it's too clustered together, so that will make me to come here and look at the total sales. So that will make me to come here. So if I want to look at the top, in the top months, so I want to look at the top 5. The top 5 months, and the data should be the sales, the total sales. I'll bring it here, apply it. It's still a bit scattered. So let me have top 3 months, apply. So here now, as we can see that, but let me change the title just like we did last week. Change the title. So this will be total number of, this will be top 3 months of total number of sales per month and category. Yeah, top 3 months of total number of total number of sales, top 3 months of total number of sales, top 3 months of total number of sales per month and category. Now, this is informing us. What we want to know is that in the month of October, what contributed, so you are informing your stakeholders that it was sports. So what we are doing here is that to inform our stakeholders that it was sports, because what if they ask you that from this visualization here, that, okay, there was the highest total number of sales was in October. So what contributed to the total number of sales in October? Why do we have the highest total number of sales in October? Then there goes the answer, because sports wears or sports sports wears or sports shoes, sports stuffs are the contributed to it, and they are the ones that have the highest sales in October. And so that is why we are having the highest sales in October. And what contributed to for November, we are having both clothing. You know that this is the legend. For November, we are having both clothing and the electronics. Now, to make it bigger, I can remove the x-axis here. So let me click on it. Yeah, I want the values on. For the title, I want it off. Yeah, because everybody knows that that is months. So let me go to the x-axis, to the y-axis, sorry. Yeah, the legend should be on. Now, my own legend is on top here. So there's a reason why I put it on top, the top left. If you want to change it, you can change it to wheresoever you want, but it's better like that because of how the visualization is. So for the y-axis, I want to change for the y-axis, I want to remove the title. So now I've removed the title. You can see I've maximized my page. Now, let's also look at, before I do a calculation, let's also look at the total sales of by category and product. That is total sales by category and product. So let me copy this, let me paste it. So total sales, so sales will remain here. So by category and products. So here we can look at also the top 5 products. The top 5 products, then bring the total sales here. So what we did here is to look at, in each of these categories, who has the highest product that was sold. Now, remember that we have clothing, electronics, home, and sports. So for the clothing, it was agency clothing that was sold the most. And for electronic, Search was sold the most. So for home stuffs, it was energy. So for the sports, it was 4. And so the reason why we are having this is because is next to electronics. So let me say top 4. So this gives us the highest sales per each of those categories. Do we understand it? So let me change the title. So I will change it to total sales, total sales by category of products. Then I think we can even change does this look all right? No. Let's use this. No, we can't because it's not showing, it's not giving us the legend, so we cannot use it because it's not giving us our legend, so we cannot use it. So you have to be sure of the visualization you want to use. So let's go into do you have any question? Can any admin admit me in? Yeah, I think if you are there, they will admit you in. If you are in the lobby, they will admit you in. If you are in the lobby, they will admit you in. Please, admins, let's admit people in. Thank you very much. All right. So Now, let's try to do some calculations. If we want to know the total number of orders, so, and this is the DAX that I'm talking about. So I'll click on, do we have any question before I move on? If you have any question before I move to DAX, can you quickly ask now? Any question before I move to DAX? All right, so let's go on. So let's calculate the total number of orders. So if you want to calculate the total number of orders, so you can do it either ways. You click on new measures. So you change this to the total number of orders, total order. So equal to, so there's something that we know as distinct count. And don't forget that we want to calculate the total number of orders. So, and it is in the order table, and we are making use of the order ID. So with this now, I will click on that and I will click on the green button, and that would calculate the total number of orders for me. So if I want to inform my stakeholders the total number of orders that were made this year, so I will use a card. I will make use of a card, then click on total order. So here we have that the total number of orders is 100. So the total number of orders is 100. Don't forget that we can format this as well. So we have the total number of orders to be 100. So if you want to know the total number of customers as well, so all you need to do is to go to new measures, just like we have done, and give total, the total customers. So distinct count, you make use of the distinct count and make use of customer ID, because those names could be the same, but customer ID will not be the same. So you click on the green button. So that's perfect. Let me delete this. So let me copy that from that place, paste it here. So this is the total order. So if I want to know the total number of customers, so in the last, let's assume that it's 1 month or a year. I think it's a year. Yeah. I think it's just a year. the dates are just for 2024. So this company is a fake data, like I've said. This company has just 50 customers and the total number of order was 100. So we calculating the total number of orders, we can calculate the orders per quarter, orders per month. Do you understand now? So we can calculate the total number of orders per quarter, orders per month, whether the orders reduced or not. So let's look at orders per month. What are the orders per month? So I will have the total order, then dates. So I'll click on months. So here now, we can see the total number of order per month here. And like I said, if you don't want, you can order it by know which month has the total number of orders. So you can sort it by total order instead of sorting it by month. By default, it was sorted by month. So you can sort it by the total number of the total order. So here again, we can see that October has the highest total number of orders, and followed by November, August, and the lowest where the ordered list is January and December. So now you have informed your stakeholders. So don't forget that there are several things you can do on this. But instead of me drawing it again, I can easily even come here, copy this. That's good practice. Instead of me trying to edit this again. So let me delete this. So copy that, paste it. So I can change this now to total orders instead of total sales. So let me change this to total order. And let me sort it. Let me sort it by the amount of total order. So October has the highest amount of orders and January has the least. So what does this suggest? So this suggests to the stakeholders that they need to do something about the orders that people are ordering in January, December, and May. Then they need to possibly introduce. So that is where you see some companies introducing bonuses and the likes. So sometimes they might have done their analysis and they see that the sales, or so let me correct this, the total number of order. So sometimes they might have done their analysis and they have seen that that month or that quarter, people used to the orders have reduced at that time. So that's why you see them giving bonuses out. And you feel like at this time, I don't need this bonus because I don't use it. But because they want to encourage you, and so they will give bonus out at those times. Do we have anybody that have questions before I move on? All right, so it's getting clearer. Then there are no questions. Please feel free to drop questions if you're having any issue. Feel free to drop questions. So let me go on. So I've already done the total number of orders per month. So we can use this also to draw the total number of orders per quarter. So I can change this to quarter. And obviously, quarter 4 What is quarter four? Quarter four is from quarter four is October, November, December. That is quarter four. October, November, December. That is quarter four. So the least quarter is quarter two. And we can see it even from here. Quarter two is that's April, May, June. So we can see that April, May, June are right down in the bottom here. April, May, June are right down in the bottom here. Although we can use another, let me see if we can use another visuals that might explain it. Yes, I think this is explaining it better too. So this is like a funnel. Remember that I've taught you, you can reduce these colors as those things are reducing. Let's attempt to do that. The category labels, values, the conversion rates. Yeah, position, the values. Yes. Yeah. Okay, it's in auto, that's fine. Category labels. The title. So this will change to total number of orders per quarter. That's fine. Yeah, category labels are this quarter four, quarter three, quarter one, quarter two. And the conversion rate label. No, I don't want the conversion rate label there. What was showing here before is not needed because I want mine. So colors. So for the colors, so I click on show all. So quarter four has the highest, isn't it? So followed by quarter three. So I can increase it here like this, like this. So it's getting lighter and lighter. So as it's reducing, it's getting lighter and lighter. Do we have questions? It looks to me as if we are still doing what we did last week. No, we are not doing what we did last week. Like I said we are going to continue the report we are creating. So we continue the report we are creating. We have created, you can go and watch the YouTube video. We have created total number of orders, the total orders. This should be total orders and not order. The total orders, we have created total customers. And we stopped at report 2 last week. So we have created total customers and we have created the total number of orders per quarter. We've created the total number of orders per month. We've created total sales by category of products. We've created this. So we are not repeating what we did last week. We have created this using the DAX. We have created it using the DAX. So another thing that we can use DAX, calculation, another thing we could calculate Do you have any other question? Yeah, another thing that we can calculate is to calculate the average order value. That is, we want to know the average order for this year, because we know that this is just 2024. I think the data is just for a year. So how do we go about that? How do we calculate the average order value? So I'll click on the new measure. There's something about measure that you need to understand. When your formula is wrong, it's not going to, for example, now, let me attempt to make a mistake in my formula now. Let me attempt to make a mistake in my formula. So average order is divide. So divide total sales, the total sales, and the order counts. No, and the total order. And the total order. So let me now, there's error here. Now, there's an error. I deliberately introduced the error, like did not put what I'm supposed to put. It was a deliberate attempt. I deliberately did it. So as you can see in this place now, it's showing me red. So that means if I click on this commit, it's not going to work. So I need to fix the error. Normally, when I'm dividing the total sales by order, I'm supposed to put a comma. So you can see here that there is no red button here again. And you can expand it in case you are writing a very long formula. You can expand it and write whatsoever you want to write. You can expand it and write whatsoever you want to write. So I'll click on commit now, and we have our average order value. So if you want to know the average order value, so this is 428. That's the average order value. That is our total sales divided by the total sales divided by the number of orders. Yeah, that is what we are tripping. Who can tell me the meaning of DAX? Don't Google it. Just say it just type it like that. If after 1 minute, I will not accept it, that means you have Googled it. Nobody knows it. Yes. So I know you will Google. You have Googled it, so don't need to type again. Data analysis expression. I know that you are going to Google, so don't Google it again. So that somebody will not ask you that, okay, you have been mentioning DAX. What's the full meaning of DAX? And you will be like, what's the full meaning of DAX? I'm not sure I know. I'm not sure I know the full meaning of DAX. Don't worry, you have Googled it. All right. But I've mentioned it is data analysis expression. So it's just the same as you are doing formulas in Excel and the likes. There's no difference. It's just the same as you are. It was replaced the formulas in Excel. So do we have anybody that have any question? Then there's another thing that I've not taught you, in which I want to explain again. So instead of having these figures like this, we could also have it, we could represent them as percentage. But that means that you have to be consistent in your visualization. you have to be consistent in your visualization. So what I mean is that, for example, so if I don't want it to show, I want it to show percentage. So you can see all I did is just to come here and say show as percentage of grand total. I went to the total, I went to the percentage, I went to the this column here, I went to the y-axis here. However, personally, I don't use it because I believe that the percentage, they want to see the real values. So depending on the organizations where I work, depending on what they want, is the percentage that is wanted. So you can still also, you can still sort it by descending. You can still sort it by descending and it still works. So let me return it back to that. So let me return it back to I've gone to another one. Show as no calculation. Then this show as no calculation. So perfect. Then I can even remove this total order that is in this left. I can remove the title there. And remove the title as well. Because and even I can remove the grid lines. We don't want the grid lines. So I want the data labels on. So different formatting that you can make use of. Any questions so far? All right. So let's try to look at what is the top selling product. If we want to know the top selling product, there are several ways to go about it. Like out of the products that we have, what is the top selling product? Here, I think we've done something like that here. Yeah, okay, the top 5 quantity that was sold, the top 5 sales. Yes, okay, the top 5 sales. So instead of having the top 5 sales here, we could have just the top selling products, and which will give us which will make us the agency as the top selling product that is here. Then another thing that we can come up with, another stuff that we can come up with here is to look at the orders and look at how the regions in which those orders were made, highest number of regions in which those orders were made. So if we want to do that, so let me copy this, put it here. So I will change this to region. Okay, we have 31, 29. Now, we cannot use, I told you that except they are distinct, that's when you can use pie charts. But if you look at this place, they are not distinct. So it's not going to inform our stakeholders appropriately. So we either make use of this, which will be more clearer, or we make use of this, which will show that the highest total number of order came from the west, and the highest and the lowest came from both the north and the south. So if we want to be informed about our customers, which region is our customers coming from, we can also do that. So what's the region in which our customers are coming from? So I will change total order here to total customers. It's not splitting it. I don't know why. I don't know why it's not splitting that. So let me edit this to region. So we have total number of, so this is total number of order per region. Total number of orders per region. Now, so if this is a fake data, like I said, if this company is going to, if they are going to look at and try to possibly make changes now, they will want to focus more on the north and south because their products are not well sold there. And we can compare this with also, I think last week we did something on region and look at total sales. And it was obvious as well that it was the West that was having the total sales. So obviously, they should also have the total number of orders. And followed by the East, which was true. And the North and the South, they had the same total sales here. So which give reason for why we are having the total number of order for North and South as well. So this is how you compare data together. All right. Do you have anybody that have any question? Any question concerning what we've done so far? Do you have any question concerning anything that we've done so far? All right. In the absence of no question, let me try to go over again what we've done and how we started. So I started by creating the top 3 months of total number of sales per month. Then I created the total sales by category of products. I created the total number of order per month. Then I created the total number of order per quarter. And I also created the total number of order per region. I created the total number of order per region. So I use DAX to create the total orders, the total customer, and the average order. Now, next week, we are still going to continue on this because there are still some more things to explore. And one of those things that I will try for us next week is if we want to know the total number of orders in the last 70 days, how do we go about that? We want to know the total number of orders in the last 70 days, which is very, very specific. But you know that here, we are just having year, quarter, month, and days. So how do we go about it? So that's why we are still going to do more of DAX next week. So it's still going to be more of DAX next week. Now, if I add to this data, if I should come and add to this data, let's go to our table. Let me go to the table query. If I should add to this data, what I want to prove is, so this is why in most companies, they already have like a setup dashboards. So most of the time, when you have new data, you just refresh. Because if I should add to these tables now, if I should come and add to these tables, or I had a new data source to this table, all I need to do is just to close and apply. And when I close and apply, it's going to refresh. It's going to refresh here. It's going to refresh here. Or if it doesn't refresh, I will just click on refresh my data, and all the values here is going to change. All the values there, you can see that it's already refreshing because I told it to do what? To refresh. Because I told it to refresh. So it's already refreshing. So it will refresh based on the data and based on the model. So to see whether there are additions to the data already. So because I didn't add to it, all the data will still remain the same as well. All the data will still remain the same because I didn't add to it. So do we have any other question? Any other question before we call it a day? All right. So thank you very much for joining. So next week, like I said, we are going to do more complex DAX queries, like the one I just told you now, that if you want to know the total number of order in the last 80 days. So if you receive that email, how are you going to go about it? Or you want to know the total number of order in the last 100 days. How are you going to go about the last 100 days? How do you do that? So I will prepare some of those questions. And like I said in the Excel class yesterday, so by next week, I'm going to roll out the projects that you are going to do. And obviously, it's going to contain everything that I've taught you. And when I started, for those of you that did not join, so when I started, for those of you that have not joined, like I said, please try to chat me up. Only few people have chatted me. If you know that you have enjoyed this class, don't be shy. Just chat me up and say, "Oh, I'm glad, and I want to do like a 1-minute video of what I've gained in this class." So thank you very much. I'll see you next week. Thank you very much. Bye for now.